Did you notice anything different today? Instead of my red roses, I've got white ones today. Ah, and they smell beautiful. They're from my hubby. He actually gave these to me 5 days ago, and they're still absolutely beautiful. Okay, I know that's not the reason why you're here. In fact, you're probably here because you're interested in generating leads through forms, either on your website or as a separate landing page. I actually did this as part of a bigger HubSpot CRM free tool video a couple of months ago. And today I'm going to review how to create a form for your website that will allow you to start collecting email addresses from leads in exchange for something of value. So you do need to have something downloadable or a compelling email newsletter or something that's going to drive visitors to take action and join your email list. At that point then, it's up to you. But here's the thing. There's a part of the CRM through HubSpot that allows you to create a follow-up email communication so that you can start nurturing that relationship from that moment that they click download document, join now, whatever the case may be. So if this sounds of interest to you, you're in the right place. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey there, I'm Vicki Carroll, and today I'm going to review generating leads using the HubSpot free version of their CRM, in particular the forms aspect of the marketing segment of all the free tools that they provide to you. If you're interested in seeing everything that they provide for free, I included a link here for a video that I created a couple of months ago. And then also you can check it out for yourself and actually create an account via the link below this video. So let's go ahead and talk about some statistics to show why you need to create a form in order to collect leads and email addresses to grow your business. Here's a couple for you. 74% of companies use web forms for lead generation. In fact, 49.7%, so almost half, state that their online forms are their highest converting lead generation tool. Only 25% of leads are ready to advance to sales at that point. A quarter of those are not ready to really buy from you yet, so they haven't really gone through the know, like, and trust process, really gotten to that trust process of the customer journey yet. And the beauty of that is that you now have their name and their email address, and you know what they've downloaded from your website based on the form that they submitted their information from. And now you know what they're interested in. And guess what? You can now use this information to help nurture the relationship, help nurture them through that buying journey. So when they're ready to purchase, they are purchasing from you, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today is the form that you can create on the free version of the HubSpot CRM tool. And it's listed under all the marketing tools. So let's go ahead and get into the system and let's get started. Okay, we are in the HubSpot CRM free tool, and this is my test account. So you can see here that under the marketing tab, forms, a lot of different types that you can create, full pages to pop-ups to ones that come in from the different corners or slide down from the top, or when you do an exit. So let's go ahead and go in here, and you can see here if I want to upgrade to another version of HubSpot in order to remove the logo, then I can do that here. If you can hear the water in the background, my cat is playing with the water dish. Okay, so we're gonna click Create Form, and here's where you have your different options. So the pop-up form is what I created before. We're gonna create just a regular form. Next, here's the different options. We can either start from scratch, or if you have an understanding of what type of form you want, like if you're wanting to have people download an ebook, then you want to start with this one. If you're creating a registration page for either an event or for a webinar, then you'd want to start with this one. You can see that the fields change as you click on them. Let's go ahead, for the sake of this demonstration, let's do an event registration. And again, this is just the starting point. So once you've chosen that, you can customize each of the fields and then also determine which ones are going to be required. So we're going to start form title. We're going to call this test for YouTube video form registration form. We'll call this one registration form. Okay. And you can see here that these 5 fields are the ones that are defaulted here, made as a recommendation from HubSpot as ones that most people use, but you don't have to use them. So if I don't want job title on here, I just click on it and click the trash icon and it removes it. If I want company name down here, then I can move that around. Maybe I don't want last name, which I usually don't. So let's get rid of that. But I do want to make the first name required. And you can see as I click on each of the form fields, it changes what's available over here. So first name, it's very simple. Click the toggle button, make this field required, and now it has an asterisk, meaning it's going to be required. If you want to add new ones, if you want to include country, you can add that one, make it mandatory, placeholder text, and then if you want a default value to be listed there, like if the majority of your people are going to be coming from the United States, then you can say, I want my default value to be United States, and then give them the option to obviously change it. They just have to highlight it and then type in their country or state. Depending on how specific, if you know your ideal customers, you know where they're coming from, you know their geography, any of that information that you want information from them in the form, but you want to save time, then include it, pre-populate it, and help them out in that process and make it really, really fast for them and show that you understand who they are. And then anything that's changed, you'll see that in the list of all your leads so that you can quickly identify who those individuals are. So it's very simple to do that. If you want to include logic steps, that's only available in a paid version of the HubSpot CRM. So you can get a glimpse of what that would look like. So in this example, we have country, state highlighted. If you wanted to put, if the country is the United States, then show something else and you can add it. So if you like that type of logic jump and you're going to need a lot of that, then I would recommend that you upgrade to a paid version of HubSpot. And you can still use the link below in the description to access it. And then you just pick your program and then you'll have access to these logic jumps. So those are very handy if you do need to have a lot of if-thens instead of just completing forms. So depending on where you are and how you're going to use it, that might be applicable to you. Okay, so we're done with the country. If we want to add other ones, we can. GDPR options, so if this is a requirement where you are, or if you're going to need to have GDPR on your form to make sure that you're compliant, then those options are here, included in the free version, of course. Contact information is here. You can see there's all kinds of different fields that you can add. But let's say that the industry is important. So we're going to put that here. Again, highlight it and make that required. So you can go through and do that for each one. You can move these around, like I had mentioned. Sometimes they can go in 2 different lines if you want it to. So pick the form fields that you want. This automatically create tickets is a ticket, meaning like customer service ticket. So if that's something that's important as part of your process and you want to capture that as they complete this lead form, then you can click that on and you can see that there's other options here. So this would probably be more of a customer type form that you want to have on your website, and it could be behind a password protected or a login screen. So you can use HubSpot for that too, and then it keeps everything together in one place. If you're using HubSpot CRM as your tool for managing your contacts, your leads, your marketing, even your advertising campaigns, your sales, your customer service, then that's going to be an important piece to include if that's the purpose of your particular form. Okay, and we're just generating a form to generate leads, so that is not going to be applicable in this scenario. CAPTCHA is a great option to have. As you can see here, it's a spam prevention. So if you have a lot of spammers going to your website and completing a contact form with just junk information and you don't want to have to go through that process, then you'll want to turn CAPTCHA on. And then you can see here that you can create new fields. If you want to add an image on here, which, I think it's nice instead of just having a plain old form, you can click that and then upload an actual image. We'll just use that one. You can highlight it and then edit. If this is going to be a page on your website where you want to have some alt text, it could help with SEO. So when people are searching for it, you can add that here. And you can see what it looks like over here. Multiple checkboxes if you have a question where you're trying to really understand out of a list of maybe obstacles, challenges, or problems that they're trying to solve, you can include that here as well. So let's say that we wanted to do that. We're going to put that at the bottom. I may have just deleted that. Let's put that here. And then it pops up and it changes it. So you can say which contact group do you want to have it associated with. We're going to keep it as contact form. The label, this is what you want to call it. We're going to say which is most common to you today. Okay. Pick which ones apply to you. Choose more than one. Okay, and then you click next. Your sort, if you want to keep the sort, custom or alphabetical, we'll just keep it custom. The label, here's what it'll look like. You can just tell them to enter the information, the value, and is it in the forms? Yes, it is. You can add another option too if you want. So we're going to say that this option is going to be bad leads. This is going to be like marketing budget. And then we're going to say low sales and customer service. Okay, so there's our options. We're going to create that, and then you'll see that it lists it here. So which is most common to you today? And you can choose however many you want. And if you want them to just choose one, then you can do that as well. Okay, if we want to see what the options are available to this one. Logic, again, you can create logic jumps if you're in the paid program. If you want to make this required, I would say yes in this instance, only because you're going to the lengths of making this list. And this is most likely a purpose of this form. So you want to capture that information before they hit submit. And then that just helps you better understand where they are and what their biggest challenges are at that point. And they could have more than one. And again, that's going to help you with the follow-up emails and to help nurture that process until they're ready to buy from you. Okay, so the more information you have, the more powerful that lead and the more likely it is that you're going to be able to personalize or customize a next step for them depending on where they are and what their challenges are. So having that information is going to be extremely important to you and your business. Here, we'll just say that this is the form just to show you the different options that you have so we can get out of this particular field. And then, like I mentioned at the beginning, you can go through the follow-up process. Okay, so we've now got the form created. And now we want to create a follow-up email. We can choose what it is. So this is going to be marketing information, who it's from. This is me. Your name, if you want to change it, instead of having it say Vicki O'Neill, it could say the marketer, subject line. You're on the right path toward finding solution. Thank you for your inquiry. We look forward to serving you. Until next time, you might enjoy. Insert link here. Okay, if you need to include an email footer, then you can do that here. Ken K Marketing. We're going to do 123 Main Street, Cincinnati, and save that. Okay, so now we have the footer because that's a requirement if you're going to be sending an email out. That's a requirement with any email provider, so keep that in mind. And then we're going to hit save. So here is your email. Once they complete the form, they will receive this email. You're going to keep them engaged in the process by including a link in the body of that email that will keep them in the flow of things. They'll get to know you better, okay? So now we're going to go to the options. And again, this is optional. So if you want to use this, what should happen after they submit the form? Okay, they receive your thank you message. You've provided a link that they can go to. You can also, at that time, once they're still on that page, just display a thank you, include a link, or you can automatically redirect them to another page. And again, this would be something that you want to keep them engaged on your website if you want to direct them to a podcast episode or your YouTube channel, whatever it is, but you definitely want to not only tell them thank you for submitting the form, but take advantage of that time to help them take that next step in the process. You want to make it as seamless as possible, and you want to nurture and facilitate that process so they don't have to think about it. The easier you make it for them, the easier it's going to be for them to choose you later when they're ready to buy. Follow-up options: send submission email notifications to the contact's owner. You can choose to do that or not. And that's where it would go. You've got your email here. And if you want to change it or add more people, you can do that as well. But this is my test account, so I just have my email on here. Now, you can see here, if you want to create contacts for a new email address, add links to reset the form, pre-populate the contact fields, or automatically create tickets. Those options are here for you to toggle on and off, depending on what you're trying to accomplish here. Okay, so take advantage of all of the functionality that's available to you. And I'm going to include my website address, and I'm just going to choose my podcast page so that they can see all the different options that are available. Now that we're ready to create the style and generate the preview. So right now, here's what it looks like. Okay, this is going to be embedded on a web page. This is just representing content around it. So you can see how big it is, what it actually looks like, the layout. And here you can change the button. So right now it's this. If I want it to look like this and make it sharper, then I can make it that. If I want to make it rounder, you can see how it changes right here, right? So this is just changing the style of the button itself. If you want to change colors of your labels or any of the fields, you can do all of that here. The button color as well. So this is a great place to brand it, right? So you've got your brand colors, and you want to incorporate as much of that as possible into this form before you publish it, so that when someone lands on this page on your website or they see it on your website, it's automatically going to stay with the consistency of what they're already seeing on there. Okay, so you definitely want to keep that consistent. If you want to preview what it looks like on a tablet and then also mobile, you can see how it changes depending on the layout. You can see how awesome the HubSpot CRM free version is. Okay, so this is it. We are ready to go. Save it. It's been published, and now I have the option. I can either share the link, which would take them directly to this page, or if I want to embed it on my website, which I highly recommend that you do, then you can go to embed code, copy and paste the code. So if you're interested in learning more about HubSpot CRM and all the free tools available through marketing, sales, and customer service, you can click this link here to access the video I did a couple of months ago where I walked through the different aspects of it. I did not walk through this particular form, but I did walk through creating a different form. So you'll notice the layout's a little bit different in the beginning just because they've changed their interface a little bit since then, but you can still do the same things. So hopefully that'll be of value to you. And the link will be below in the description as well if that would be helpful to you. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. Hit subscribe and that bell notification so you know when I upload new videos every week. And also, if you think there's somebody who could benefit from this, click that share button and share it with somebody who could actually use some help in generating leads using forms. And of course, it's free, so anybody can use it, right? Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for being here. I appreciate you. And as always, make today great.